Well, happy Monday. When the right one comes, men's edition. Teresa, we love you. You've been sitting here since 9:59.
Woo!
Yeah. Thank you, Teresa. Hey, Angelica. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. I don't know why people say that. Come on in. Come on in. Because the people that you're saying it to is already in. So I don't know. Anyway. Everybody invite and share. Invite and share on tonight. Everybody welcome back Frank Ray III.
Woo!
And tell the Candy Man happy birthday.
Thank you.
The Candy Man can.
Happy birthday, brother.
Because he makes
it today.
When was it actually?
Friday.
I think Friday.
Okay.
Y'all welcome.
Some brother.
Right. Y'all tell the Candy Man, Prophet Oren Perry, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Prophet.
Thank you.
I got shoes older than him.
Wow.
That's funny.
Literally.
Man.
When they used to say that, I'd be like, what? Let me see. You 33?
Yes, sir.
33 years old. Mine is 59. I was 26. Oh, I don't want to tell y'all.
My God.
33.
Wow.
I was 26, right?
6.
No.
Yeah, I was 26. Was I preaching? Yeah, I've been preaching 35 years this year. So I've been preaching longer than you old.
My God.
Yeah. My
Prophet,
first
I just hit your age. 33 years of preaching.
Wow.
33 years.
Almost been a bishop. He was 3 years old when I became a bishop. That is hilarious. Do you hear what I'm saying to you?
My God.
Wow. Y'all invite and share. You just reminiscent. Invite and share. Y'all tell Prophet Perry happy birthday, and we're going to tell y'all a little bit what y'all can do later on. Yeah. This is the 50th week.
Yes, sir.
50 weeks.
Straight.
Yeah.
Who cares, Frank? Who cares?
Frank, nope. Listen, y'all, nobody play any music that somebody got a right to because they flagged my show 2 weeks ago. So
I
sure
wonder why.
Excuse me?
Do I need to say it again?
I mean, they flagged it so bad, they're like, we're not going to even let you have partial nothing.
Wow.
They flagged when I post my single that just came out on my story.
Yeah.
They pulled it off.
You mean Lord, I Need a Miracle?
No, I got another single. I got a single out from off the album. It's a church medley, Sunday night church medley. It just came out last week, and I posted on the story, and they flagged it and sent me a thing that said there's copyrights on it, and it was my own stuff. They want me to prove. Like my son said, it's to protect me from myself too, I guess.
Wow.
When the Saints wearing suits, 52 weeks. This is 50.
Yeah.
This is week 50.
Yeah.
Happy 50. Wow. Jubilee release.
Oh.
Broderick, you been here every week?
No, I missed 1 week in November.
So you and Frank the same?
No, Frank had been gone for 2 weeks vacation and having fun.
No, first of all, I've been gone 1 week having vacation. The week before that, I was doing our conference.
I got you. I was sick a week, so
you were gonna be here though, but you get stuck on the plane.
Right. That's true too.
So Frank, okay, well Frank missed 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I missed 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But
He's human. He's human.
Because you came in a week late.
3 weeks.
Yeah, Johnson been here
The very
but-
first week and these past 2 weeks.
Right. And Johnson been here every week but 1 week.
1 week.
Perry?
Every week.
My God.
Perry ain't missed a week like me? You
Y'all-
kidding me?
No, sir.
Wow. Okay.
I'm with you.
Perry. Who say young men are not consistent? Look at that.
Oh no, you are consistent. That people know that about you. They say that about you. They say his number one thing is consistency.
It's the only way you're gonna be successful. Consistent.
I receive.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's 50 weeks, y'all. Y'all invite and share, please. Y'all invite and share. Tonight we're talking about submission. We're gonna see what the men think about submission. Submission.
Bishop Jackson.
Huh?
I know he gonna love that one.
Antoine.
No, his explanation don't be like nothing, boy. I said the same thing, Broderick. I'm like, I can't wait.
I'm getting ready to make you
Jackson's
mad. Batman. I'm ready to make you mad. Because you
What,
know how
don't- I ain't starting with y'all. Y'all had enough of y'all last week. I'm going along with everybody. I'm on the same side. Whatever side everybody else on,
No.
Johnson.
I want to.
Nope. I can't. Johnson, I always come with controversy. Not this week. I'm on whoever side is winning. I'm on that side.
I want to
Because
challenge.
Bishop will cut me a break.
I want to challenge everybody before we get started, even now, to purpose in your heart for us to be able to raise the budget tonight. And I see Prophet Perry just gave, which made me think of it. We already know what the offering is going to be tonight. It's going to be $50, and I'm saying we can get it done even before. So, ladies and gentlemen that are on, periodically, Marlinda is going to put the Cash App up. Put up the giving information, and you can give, and we can hit it beforehand.
Yes, sir.
On tonight. So, if everybody would just give that, this is a celebration. It's 50 weeks that we have been here.
Yes, sir.
Who'd have thunk it? And so, not to scare anybody off and none of that, but
Right.
y'all know what we do at the end. So it's on there. The information's on there. If you want to start giving now, you can. And I'm just led to do that tonight because this is a monumental. There are people that told me to stop and take a break and all that. And I want to thank these guys for hanging there with me. Not one time have they complained or said anything. And Marlinda, and just thank all of you for and Perry, thank you. I didn't know you had been here all the weeks. Johnson, all of you that have been here from the beginning. Like everybody, Ray, I came in the week after we started. Johnson's been here from the beginning. Perry's been here from the beginning. And then Broderick's been here from the beginning. He's only missed 1 week. And this started from another show that I was having with my sister Lola, and she couldn't make it one Saturday night. And this is the evidence of one Saturday night.
Wow. I heard that, Bishop.
It kept going, and we switched the night to Monday night, and we've been here ever since. So y'all celebrate Marlinda too. Just say thank you, Marlinda. Let's appreciate 50, and in 2 weeks, I swear, if this past one thing don't work, he's going to be a DJ.
Right.
He might be the first pastor that'll be a DJ, and but even sacrifice like Bishop Antoine just got in from the airport like 25 minutes ago. Some of the fellows have carried the computers with them and done them in different places, and just thank all of you for being part. So Frank, it is in your hands. Everybody invite and share.
See, I can do this, Claiborne, because it's original music. I had someone make this for me. You can't beat me, Claiborne. You can't do it. You can't beat me.
Ah,
listen, man, I
Double
want to
DJ.
welcome y'all to the hottest show on a Monday night that you can find on Bill Gates' internet. That's right. I'm talking about When the Right One Comes. We are indeed the brainchild of the man that just finished off. One and only Bishop Greg Davis, that man with the pretty white beard. You thought the Isley brother was the first one. My uncle, Bishop Greg Davis, was the first one with that pretty white beard. Then, joining us late tonight, we got the one and only, the bald head, Dwayne Williams Jr. Say what's up to the people, Dwayne. And then above him, it's the birthday boy, the one and only, the candy man himself, Dr. Orrin, the prophet, Harry. Say what's up, Harry.
What's up, everybody?
Then below me, we got that man, our senior statesman, the one and only Pastor Herbert Johnson Jr. Say what's up again, Johnson.
What's up, family?
Next to me, that guy who tried to do what I do for the past couple of weeks got Bishop in trouble because, you know what I'm saying, you got to know your lane and stay in it. He's Batman tonight. He's been on spaceships. He's been in studios. I mean, you just never know what you're going to get with him. Week after week, the one and only Prophet Claiborne. Say what's up to the people, Claiborne.
What's up, family? you crazy, Frank.
Then the one and only from St. Louis, Missouri. Y'all heard how I said that, Missouri. That's how we say it down in the South. The one and only Bishop Antoine Jackson is in the house. Say what's up, Antoine.
Yo, what's up, good people?
And then, my guy, I heard you wrecked your Saturday night. Prophet said, thank you for your recommendation. The one and only, the original Christian king of comedy himself, Mr. Roger Rice, is with us tonight. Roger, say what's up.
What's up, everybody? I'm excited.
Then behind the scenes, holding it down as usual, we got the one and only, the beautiful Miss Melinda Henry holding it down in the background. We appreciate her. She makes things easy for us. To everybody in the comment section, man, what's up? Whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Do me a favor, though. If you're on Facebook, I want you to hit that share button right now. Hit that share button if you're on Facebook. Tag at least, watch this, follow instructions tonight. We're talking about submissiveness. So I need every woman to tag 3 people in the comment section on Facebook tonight. If you're on YouTube, I need you to share that link out to somebody. Send it to somebody's phone through your message system. And let's have a good time tonight. Y'all, we 50 weeks in. 50. Did you hear what I said? We are 50 weeks in on doing this show on Monday nights. And I'm glad about it. Bishop, you want an icebreaker tonight?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here we go. As a child, what horror fiction character made you afraid? As a child, what horror fiction character made you afraid? Anybody can go first.
Hey, I'm gonna jump in. Freddy Krueger did it for me.
Why? Why
Yep.
you saying Freddy?
That's mine, yo.
Hey, them blades coming through that bed when you dreaming. Hey, remember the scene when the blade came through the bed, the water bed? That mug got me. Freddy did it for me, dog.
Freddy was kind of scared because everybody got to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Everybody got to go to sleep.
Everybody got to go to sleep.
Everybody.
Hey, I'm gonna say my man, Mr. Scissorhands.
That was his hand.
Yeah, that was Scissorhands.
He was scary to you.
Yeah, man, because you couldn't even shake that man's hand. He cut your hand up.
That's funny. Who else? Who else had one?
Hey, Frank, for me, it was Candyman.
Man, that's mine.
I did not want to look in that mirror and say Candyman.
Man, my family would tell you I was not scared of Chucky because I feel like I could beat him up. I wasn't scared of Jason because I feel like I could outrun him.
Yeah.
Who else? Was it? Michael Myers. I wasn't scared of him. I feel like he was too slow too. So I wasn't scared of too many, but Freddy Krueger was one because I feel like everybody got to go to sleep. So there's no way you could have avoided him. And Candyman, for some reason, I don't know why, because all you got to do is keep his name out your mouth and he won't bother you. That's a word for somebody out there.
Ha, hey, oh my shit. Oh, no. I felt something. Frank.
Roger, did you have one?
Mine wasn't a man or person. Mine was Cujo. Cujo. Y'all don't know
Before
nothing
my
about
time.
that.
They don't. Yeah.
We don't know about Cujo the
Oh,
dog.
That was a
okay.
dog.
Yeah, the dog.
I do.
He was
I
bucking.
remember it.
Cujo was wild out, man. He's coming through doors, car doors. He didn't care. So that was my one, Cujo, right there.
I do remember Cujo. Roger, who was yours?
Count Dracula. I'm talking about back in the day. Count Dracula. And them eyes. But he always had sexy women around him to bite into.
Hold on. I'm going to tell you one more for Bishop Cole. The Leprechaun.
Yeah.
The Leprechaun was scary. Y'all don't remember the Leprechaun?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. And I was kind of scared of little people for a long time, too, after watching Leprechaun. Go ahead, Mr. Davis.
I'm not going to say mine. The only person that'll remember mine is probably Michael and Broderick.
Oh.
The little girl in The Exorcist.
That's why I was gonna say The Exorcist.
Oh,
man.
When she turned her head
Amityville.
No, The Exorcist.
He talking about The
Exorcist.
Yeah, when she turned her head around and
yeah.
I can't tell y'all the favorite line.
That split pea.
I can't tell y'all the favorite line she told the priest that.
What'd she say?
No, I can't say it on here. If you saw the movie, she told the father something about somebody do something in hell.
That's so funny.
You gotta look it up.
You in the comment section, y'all tell us what was y'all as a child? What was someone you were scared of? What's a movie or a character that just scared you?
They said
in the comment
Poltergeist.
section?
And that clown
Poltergeist was
on
crazy
it.
too.
Yeah, I like the new It's are pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey Frank, what's the thing that y'all watching y'all generation? Is it Pandora? What's the thing where people get you got ghosts in your house? What's that? That thing that they be watching?
Oh,
Paranormal.
Paranormal.
That is crazy.
Oh, that movie Insidious wore me out too. The first
Yeah, it sure did. Yeah.
Insidious messed me up.
Yeah.
Prophet, what messed you up? Insidious.
Chuck, it was
You didn't use your power against it.
Somebody said that wooden doll. What's the wooden doll? The wooden doll. What's that? Hannibal. Somebody said Hannibal.
Yeah.
Hey Bishop, do you remember Bloody Mary?
The Witch from the Wizard of Oz. That's funny. Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone. I binge watched Twilight Zone.
Jeepers Creepers.
The classic Twilight Zone, Bishop,
Creepers,
or
man,
the latest one?
The classic.
Jeepers Creepers is good.
Hold on, what Joe say? He slept with what?
Joe Manaway.
Yeah. Manaway was here for the conference. He stayed the whole week. I slept with my light on because
Yeah, that Insidious ain't no joke.
It ain't. That first one did it.
Hey, y'all, I be sitting up in them scary movies talking about the blood.
Yeah, I guess that's why I don't be scared of them
Right.
them demon movies, because I feel like got authority.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just
No. I'm with you, Frank.
It's just me.
Oh, the Blob. Somebody said the Blob. I remember that. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about Tales from the Hood?
Tales from the Hood was the best. Now, that wasn't scary. It was Saturday morning. You watched the Tales from the Hood Saturday morning.
No, I'm talking about the movie. You seen the movie? You remember when they
The
had
movie
the
was
little
scary.
bitty men? The little bitty men that
Tales of the Crypt.
Tales of the Crypt.
No, Tales from the Hood, ain't it?
Crypt.
Tales from the Hood was in the movie. You right.
Right. Well, Tales from the Hood, that was the black version.
Yeah.
Tales
Y'all
from the
don't
Crypt
remember
was the
Tales from the
original.
Hood?
Yeah.
The guy just passed away. That was in it.
He was on several stuff.
Right.
Mod Squad. Remember
that?
that?
Was the movie. But
This
that was
ain't
his
no
movie, though.
mortuary.
Mod Squad. He was a great actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played on some good stuff. Broderick probably only can remember this, him and Prophet. The Birds.
Yes, sir. That's the classic.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Jimmy Stewart.
The Birds. That, yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Do your research.
You don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Johnson said like he don't know none of that. You know he old. All right, y'all. We're gonna get started. We are talking about submission tonight. It's gonna be a very good conversation. So I'm gonna open it up and tell y'all just kind of. I did a video on it today, and I was actually talking to somebody today about it. Actually gonna do a show with her, and that's Rachel. And one of the things that I believe, first of all, the dictionary says submission is giving control to another, giving over control to another. I have a problem with that, and I know what the Bible says because I know Claiborne is going to come on me with that already because we've talked about this before. I just think it's hard that a woman should not submit to a man that cannot give ample leadership. If a man cannot lead himself or is a poor leader, poor judgment, I think again that's the reason why you should wait, so that you can have a man or a woman that plays out life in all four seasons. I don't believe that scripture is for somebody who's a fool. And I know Claiborne gonna say there's no conditions in it and all that stuff, but I don't know how you can follow a man that don't give proper leadership, a man that disrespects a woman. And I've known people in the past to tell women, you got a good car, you got a nice car, don't you? You got a nice home, don't you? He taking care of kids. That's foolishness to me. That's that old foolish stuff. And so I think submission should only be given to a man only if he can lead properly. I don't believe submission is for a fool. I believe that it is for somebody, Dwayne, who is worthy of submission. And I don't think that it has to be said, submit to me. I think that she will automatically, and a woman that cannot submit is not going to submit in the beginning, even if it's a good man. I think submission starts when you're committed to a person. I even think that sometimes submission starts when you're going out with a person, casually dating, because that's just in her to do so. That's just in her. I think it's less than a man that has to demand submission. And usually the ones that have to demand submission are not the ones that are worthy. Just submit to me because I'm a man and I have a third leg. I don't Johnson, you almost thought I was going somewhere, didn't you? I just don't subscribe to that kind of submission. Now I do believe in submission. I also believe in submitting one to another. But that's my take on it. And I want to spend the next few minutes on the subject of submission, and let's open it up and talk about it. So the question is, Do y'all agree with me? Do you submit to just anybody? What's y'all take on submission? And what does that word mean to you? Starting with Johnson. You went to the right person, Bishop. I can't wait. This is getting ready to get good tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna get good. Well, Bishop, let me say this. A couple things. Number one, I do believe
when he says it like that, it's not gonna be good. Go ahead. What he's really saying, respectfully so, Bishop.
The scripture teaches us about submission, so I subscribe to the biblical understanding of submission, not only from a spiritual perspective, but also from an emotional and psychological perspective. Remember now, the scripture also teaches us to submit to each other. And one of the ways men submit to women is by loving her as Christ loved the church. And one of the ways, not all of the ways, one of the ways the woman submit to her husband is in obedience. Now, I do agree that if I'm going to submit to that woman, she has to be qualified for me to submit to her, and vice versa. I do think that the person has to be submission worthy. I do agree with that. However, Bishop, this is why I would respectfully disagree with you on. I don't think that you are less than a man or less than a woman because you require a person to submit. As a matter of fact, if the person is not mature enough to understand that, then they're not on my level and I don't have time for them in the first place. I'd rather move forward to the person that's already where and what I'm looking for. I don't want to spend a lot of time waiting on somebody to learn how to submit. They may not never learn how to submit. They may not have never been exposed to it. And so that could be a completely waste of my time. Remember now, the name of our show is When the Right One Comes. So for me, that wouldn't be the right one.
I see somebody ask, what is submission worthy? That's what you're asking. I mean, the person is worthy of you submitting to them. They are worthy of you following them. They're leaders. They're a good leader. They show traits of being able to follow you. You're not going to follow somebody that leads you off a cliff. And so the person has to be worthy of you submitting to them is what I'm saying, just for clarity. Okay. Antoine, let's have some fun.
Well, you know, my whole idea with this submission idea is because, I mean, we're looking at this like as Americans. When I look at that text, there was a reason why it tells us to submit. And I don't think that we oftentimes ask the question why. And for me, when we ask the question of why it's talking about submission is because you got to understand that they worship all of these pagan gods. And because of that worship, there was no order. And so when he's asking them to submit to each other, husbands submit to your wives, wives submit to your husbands and submit to them in everything, is because it's to ensure for the protection of the relationship itself that it moves in the direction that it was intended for. So I say that to set it up because to me, submission is a two-word thing: sub, below, mission, meaning aim, vision, or goal. And I agree with you, Bishop, because if a man does not have an aim, a vision, or a goal, he's not submission worthy. Because what will happen is he will just control the relationship based on how he feels. That's most issues with many women. They're in relationships with guys that say, well, I just do that because I said so. And that gets old. And so for me, I believe that a woman should be able to look at a man. Do you have an aim? Do you have a goal? Is there something that we have decided together as two people that we would say, hey, we will submit on this. We value this. We don't like this, or we want this in our relationship, and we will choose to submit to that together. And that man is the guard for that because he's going to be responsible to ensure that the relationship gets to the destination that you both agreed on. So I say that to women because you actually have a right in this submission thing. You actually do have the right to suggest or to say, you know what, this is what I want out of the relationship. This is what I'm asking for you financially, sexually, communication wise. And once y'all agree on that, then that's something that you both should submit to. So I agree with you, Bishop, 1,000%.
Dwayne.
Hey, Bishop, I got a couple questions first before we go further. So I want to make sure that I'm hearing y'all right. Great evening, Uncle Broderick. I see you up there, man. One, are we saying that submission is both ways? I just want to make sure that's what we're saying.
Well, they brought that into it, but I hadn't gotten there yet. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Because if we're saying that, I don't know if I subscribe to that. I'm just being honest. I don't know if I subscribe to that. Only
both ways.
Yeah, to the both ways. I don't know if I subscribe to that, and I'll tell you why I'm saying that. I think that when we look at, because it's Paul writing in that moment, kind of setting some order. When he's saying submit one to another, I believe that he's talking from a more of a brother and sister in Christ, church establishing order. I think he's very precise. I think he's very precise in his delivery when he underlines wives and then he underlines husbands, right? He says, wives submit, husbands love. I think that if we go back to the functionality of Adam and Eve, I think that part of the reason why there is a specific order, one of the things I love about the court system, Bishop, is that they send out a order, right? And that order is to suggest that you must come into something so that they can come to the conclusion of the matter. I believe that when Paul is writing here, what he's doing is he is setting a boundary for the woman component and then a boundary for the male component in a relationship to help us get to, Bishop AJ, the overall goal. And I think some of the problems in that context, Bishop AJ, is this right here, is that the reason why he's setting it up like that is because if the scripture is inspired by God that we serve, I believe that Paul was inspired to write this because of the dysfunction that was set up by Adam and Eve before we ever came into the picture. And so if that is the case, what happens is now he specifically writes to the women, hey, be submissive to your husband. And then, hey, husbands, love your wife like Christ loves the church. Both are metaphors that are comparing to something that I believe that both of us lacked in that moment. I believe that Eve lacked a moment of submission in the garden with Adam. And I believe Adam lacked the moment, love, because he didn't cover her. Love, what? Covers a multitude of sin. So I believe that he didn't have the love to protect his lady in the garden. So now we come to this conclusion of what submission is. Bishop, I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with Bishop AJ. I absolutely agree with with Pastor Johnson, and saying this. Part of our problem with this submission is that we haven't seen it done correctly because it's been an avenue of control. It hasn't been an avenue of love. And I think that if we both start to understand this, that we love, you submit, not because submission is dirty, not because submission is bad, but it is a part of the process of us coming together to paint that whole picture that Bishop AJ is talking about.
Whoever wants to go next.
I agree with you, Bishop, wholeheartedly. I just I had to do a major study on that in seminary, and the way that we use this text, submission, it does not mean submit in Greek. It does not mean that. The way we translate it in English, it does not mean that when you look at it ancient Greek. The word submit means to deploy as a military term. It's militant. We go from, and I don't want to do the seminary, but we go from the whole armor of God right into man is the head, should submit, which deals with a militant term. Therefore, it goes to what you said, Bishop. I cannot be deployed if I don't have a general. I can't follow someone that is not in a place where they know what they're doing. So basically, when you look at that text, it basically says that the wife should be deployed to come against an enemy that's coming against the marriage. The word head, the man is head. In ancient Greek, it does not mean what it means. It means origin. It means the start of a flow, like water, you know. So when I do believe that we should submit to each other, I do believe that in an English sense, but if you take that Bible, it don't mean what we've made it to be. In ancient Greek, it basically just tells you that the wife should be deployed as a soldier following a general against a leader to deploy. Also, it also deals with the dynamic that if I'm the head of something, it's just like to open up a spring. I just follow what has already been put in place. So in my understanding, we should submit to each other. We should come together. I do believe that, Bishop, wholeheartedly. But if we're going to use the Bible as the premise of it, I think we have to use it from proper context, because we're using it from an English setting. But if you look at ancient Greek, there's no word that supports head. In ancient Greek, there's no word that supports submit. It means it's a military term. It's militant. It deals with a woman that's willing to fight against an enemy that's coming against her husband. And the thing about this is that I don't think no woman should marry without already being submitted already. You know, what I mean by that is I need someone that's a leader, and that goes what you just said, Bishop. If we're going to be together, I need us to have a commonality and understanding what, just because it's your enemy don't mean it's my enemy. Just because you dislike it don't mean I dislike it. So we have to have, that goes to communication, that goes to understanding, that goes to comprehension of each other. So I agree with what you're saying. I wholeheartedly agree with it. I just think that we have to use it in the proper context if we're going to use it. And that's what Bishop Jackson just said. It deals with that. The word means deploy. It doesn't mean, oh, sit under a man. It means basically, I am now enrolled to come against and follow who's already been legitimized as a leader in our society. That's what it means. So I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I think we should support each other, submit to each other if we want to use that term. I just want us to, if we're going to use it, let's use it in proper context, because I think it's contextually construed, because ancient Greek didn't say nothing about no head, because the woman represents Eve. Jesus is the second Adam. So, and I'm not trying to make it biblical as much, but I just think that, again, if we're going to be together, let's stand together and let's come against the enemy together. Let's come against, that word there means to fight against an enemy together. So if you look at it, we go from the whole armor of God to Christ fight for the church, and the woman, it deals with a militant term more so than anything. So I agree. At the end of the day, I agree with what you're saying.
And if you explain that, it supports more what I was saying. Like,
yes, sir, it does.
A general and the woman is there deployed to support. I like that term better.
Yes, sir.
Than the term of I'm in charge. And y'all can say whatever you want. Y'all know that there are some men like that have to prove. And they said, I wear the pants in the family.
Yeah,
those are the ones that don't wear nothing. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And he's already been proven, because he got his stripes. You know, he's already got his scars. He already got his wounds. He's been proven that he can provide. He can do. So I can follow that. When he says left, I'm deployed against that. That don't mean shut up, go over there. It don't mean that. It basically means we have a commonality in an enemy that's coming against, and so let's go against this enemy. And Beyonce said it this way: formation. Let's get in formation. That's what it is, just formation. We coming together in formation.
Somebody, I ain't gonna say who it is, but somebody is simmering in here.
Hey, Bishop. Hey, Bishop. Hey, Bishop.
Go ahead.
I
don't know who it is, but
not tonight, Melinda. Not tonight. I'm on y'all. I'm with y'all. Everything y'all say, I'm on.
Hey, Prophet, forget all of that. Hey, Bishop, I don't have to say it, but they'll know I'm in charge.
It's that spirit right there. That's a
I knew it
spirit.
was coming. I knew it was coming.
See, y'all put the
That's
wrong
a
picture
spirit.
up. Y'all put the
We can
wrong
call it
picture
whatever
up.
we need to call it in order to digest it or deal with it.
Why do they have to know you in charge?
You said, why do they have to know?
Yeah, with that
Formation.
attitude of it.
Well, again, I think again because of the language or the terminology that I use, we have the propensity to believe that if we disagree with something, that make it automatically negative. I'm not saying it from a negative perspective. If we're going to talk about the military term and all of that, then yeah, she would know because of everything that Prophet just stated. That
She
I've been
will know.
I've
She
been
should,
deputized
but
back
you don't
up.
have to tell. You don't have to tell a person in the army that that's the general.
No. I agree with that part, Bishop. I said I wouldn't have
He
to tell
walks
it.
in his authority.
I said, but they would know. I wouldn't
Yeah,
have
but
to
you
say
don't
it,
even
but
have,
they would know.
you don't even have to make that statement though.
Yes, I had to make that statement.
No,
That's
he
not
don't.
entirely true.
A general
That's
don't
not
have to
entirely
make that
true.
statement.
Yes, I felt compelled.
Your woman going AWOL.
You compelled me, Bishop.
She go AWOL.
Behold,
Somebody going
ladies, behold the man. Go ahead.
Listen, they love Johnson, Bishop. They said Johnson came correct. They love him in here.
Listen, the old preacher told me.
They're laughing at him.
Listen, don't believe that. The old preacher told me years ago when I was younger, when I was real young. He said, "Son, every real woman wants a real man." And that always
you're a real man because you have to, because they'll know that you are in charge and they submit to you. That's not a real man.
Well, Bishop, I'm not talking about in charge of having to say it. I'm talking about in how you demonstrate it and how you protect, how you provide, how you cover. That will speak volumes. The old folks used to say, "Let the works that I've done speak for me." So I don't have to verbally.
And you talking just like the old folk.
But I would be able to communicate it through my actions. I'll be able to communicate it in how I carry myself, how I present myself.
Right. Put that back up there, Melinda.
That was funny. I'm glad you're addressing it.
That's Johnson.
Sit on the second row and be quiet.
You hear what I say? Don't you say nothing. Go ahead, Roger.
I want to introduce this idea, and I know Bishop Jackson's going to stand right behind me. He's going to support me all the way. I want to introduce this word. Listen carefully. Purposed deference. Purposed deference. Purposed deference. If you need to go to your lexicon or your dictionary, go ahead. I used to be slow too. So watch this. Purposed deference, which means all of us on here are men of power. We own something, we run in something, or what have you. But when we come on this show, Bishop Davis is leading us.
Yes.
He's guiding us. Sometimes he can correct us while he's laughing and joking. But each of us is wanting the best for the other. Did you hear what I just said? Each of us is wanting the best for each other. Come on, Bishop Jackson. I was expecting more from you. Turn on that microphone and come on and magnify my name.
No. When you said, did y'all hear what I said? We really didn't because you froze.
Oh man, but let me run that back. Purposed. And I thought I was doing something, Bishop.
No. We heard the word, but when you actually said that, we didn't hear nothing else. Go ahead.
So here it is, purposed deference, which means I'm using all I got to esteem you, watch this, as if you're better than me, and I have no problem with it. Now, when I was younger, and even just a few years ago, I thought I had to put my foot down and you gonna do this for me, I am this, and but now I don't have the energy for my own foolishness. So I want to see Jackson do well. What do I need to do? No matter who I know who I am. If Pastor Frank, who I love even more now because he got me in a door, if he tell me to do something, I'm gonna do it. If Pastor Johnson call me and say you joking too much, I'm gonna keep that in mind for next week. I can't listen, not because they have money and nice cars and they do, and Many are living in lofts. Amen. But I so esteem you that I don't have to be in control. Listen, I wrote this down real quick. If your focus about submission is control, you miss the point. If your focus on submission is control, you miss the point. I don't care whether it's husband and wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whether it's at the church or whatever, that attitude is wrong. So I want to go back to the first thing I said, and then I'm going to re-yield the floor. Purpose, not difference, purpose, deference. I defer to you. I say, I know what I think, but guess what? I'm going to go and be open to what you're thinking. Maybe we should try your way first, and then my way second. Now, in the event of an emergency, if I see that we are in trouble, then I'm going to step up and be the man to take the bullet. I'm going to step up and be the man that take the hit. I'm going to step up and take the, hey, let my wife, that's my time to especially love my wife as Christ loved the church and literally give my life. I yield the floor. Please. Thank you, gentlemen.
Hey, Bishop, can I say this really quick? Yo, what I respect about what you just said, Broderick, is because you focused us in realizing that submission is about the brake and the gas pedal. I respect the brake when the brake is needed. I respect the gas pedal when the gas pedal is needed, but not one or the other is better. They're both valuable. But the purpose difference is when I'm at a stoplight, I need the brake. But when that thing is green, I need to hit the gas. And I have found that many people are arguing about submission, but they don't have a destination. No destination. You can't say who to submit to because where are we headed? Where are we going?
That's my point. All right, Frank.
When I was younger, like an adolescent, in order for my mama to get me to take medicine, she used to always add something to my medicine to make it more easily digestible. But the older I got, the less my mama stopped playing with me and wrestling with me because she felt like I was mature enough to understand that what she was trying to give me was to help me and not hurt me. So the older I got, the less she tried to water down my medicine. What I've heard tonight is a lot of watered down medicine to basically say the proper order of relationships. That the man is indeed in charge. That's all I've heard. That the man, is to deploy. We've used military terms. If I got a general and a lieutenant and a soldier, one of them in charge.
Yo, he's so.
Go ahead, Frank.
I hate Frank.
Yeah, and so I think the society we live in makes us, because we got a bunch of babes that are not mature enough to understand that the medicine mature people are trying to give them is not to hurt them, but it's to help them. And so I think that's my pretty way of saying what y'all said, another pretty way to we got to be mature enough to handle our medicine without having to water it down all the time. I yield back the floor.
I think we got to be mature enough not to say we in charge. Okay, come on.
You don't forgot my name. Oh, Bishop, you is not right. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you straight. Now, listen, Prophet Perry. I ain't got no military terms on this. I'll tell you, but you did give exegete the excellent truth. Here's where the rubber meets the road, because I agree with Bishop. Believe it or not, I agree with him. But here's where I see the whole submission thing that we struggle with. We struggle with the submission thing because of the one scripture that says this. The scripture says that we submit, Pastor Johnson, in the fear of God. In the fear of God. So we read it backwards. It is in the fear of God and the reverence of God that I have no struggle with submitting. It's the same thing as I have no struggle with loving my wife, because going forward, it says, love your wife as Christ loved the church. Going backward, it says, because Christ loved the church, this is how you love your wife. The problem that we have is that if you have that humble submission to God, it's not a chore for you to submit to your husband. It's no struggle, because my first submission is upward before it's sideways. Then it becomes more easier. But what we get a problem is that even if my flesh struggles with it, because I've been hurt in the past, because some man was dogmatic and beat me over the head with it, even if my flesh struggled with it, I know God not gonna hurt me. And if God say submit to this man, this is my husband, I can do that with no struggle, because I honor God. He not gonna let me get hurt. If God tell me to love this woman as he loves her, he not gonna let me get hurt. I can humbly submit to God and love her with everything that I got. We struggle with this because we stay this way with it instead of starting this way first. If I start this way first, then this way becomes easier. And the problem is that there's so many people don't have a strong understanding this way, don't have a strong submission this way, therefore they cannot do it this way, and they fight this. But what Frank said, and believe it or not, Frank, I am agreeing with you. The medicine is easy to take when you know it's right this way. When you know the medicine is okay and God ain't trying to kill me, he ain't trying to give me nothing, I can take it this way. It becomes easier. We got to get a better submission this way. Then this way becomes easier. And I agree with the leadership, because if he understand this, he gonna become a leader. I agree with you, Bishop. He gonna become a leader. Now I don't agree with that if he's not doing X, Y, Z, she shouldn't do X, Y, Z. I don't agree with that, but I agree that he becomes a better leader when he submits to God. No, I'm talking about, because everybody has their own. Let me say it this way.
So you're saying,
let me say it this way before.
Wait. If the man is not leading her properly in the family, then she should still submit. That's what you just said.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Let me say it this way. Everybody has their own, what they think a man should be doing. Everybody has a different reason. So this one woman may say the man need to do X, Y, Z. Another woman may say the man need to do X, Y, Z. Everybody has their own different way of what they think a man should be doing. And if he's not doing that, I'm not submitting. Because let's be honest, and let's keep it 100. There's a lot of women that don't submit to really good men. There are a lot of women.
We're not talking about that. Don't muddy the waters right now.
So that's why I said.
Don't muddy the waters.
But that's why
talking about right now. What I'm talking about right now is a man that is worthy of submission. That's what I'm talking about right now. You want to muddy the waters. So
so the man that's a good man that's worthy of submission, and the woman that don't submit, that's not what you just said?
We're not talking about the woman that don't submit. We ain't talking about that. You want to muddy the waters. I'm talking about a perfect, a decent situation where the woman, when the man is leading properly and she should submit. That's when she should submit. I am against totally what you and Johnson are talking about. When you say that she should still, because I know he agree with you. When you say she should still submit no matter what, you said that before. I totally disagree with that. I don't believe a woman should submit to a man if he's abusing her verbally, physically.
No,
I don't believe a woman should. Yeah, but you got to be careful. I told you that before. You got to be careful when you say that stuff. I don't believe if a man is leading her astray. I don't believe a woman should follow a man if her man is on drugs. And he's squandering the money and all that stuff. Now, this is going to surprise you. I do believe that a woman should, if she's a church woman, a God-fearing woman, and her husband is not, I believe she should still submit to him, regardless of his belief or not, as long as he's still leading her in the right way. Okay, well, Bishop, didn't you just muddy the water? Because you spoke about a negative man and a good. Let's talk about good on both sides. I'm going further for your purpose. Okay, but let's talk good on both sides. You start muddying. I'm dirtying it for you now. Okay, so let's talk good on both sides. Let's talk a good man that is leading.
she should submit. I agree with you. I agree with you.
You want to throw the woman in here, and I'm not trying to throw the woman in here.
Is that what you said? The woman should only wait. Didn't I just say what you just said?
Where you're getting ready to go is turn the corner and say that what happens to the woman that don't submit to a good man. So
no. I'm only saying what you said.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm only saying what you said.
Go ahead with 350 women on here. Go ahead.
I'm not afraid of no woman. I'm saying what you said. I didn't say nothing different.
See, out of the mouth,
I'm agreeing with you.
Out of the mouth, the heart speaks. I'm not afraid of no woman.
I'm agreeing with you.
You're such a 1940 man.
I am not a 1940 man. You want to make me that, but you're not listening to me. I agree with you.
Hey, Prophet, he's trying to vilify you.
Yes,
Bishop, I never said that a woman should submit to a man no matter what.
Right.
I never said that. But Prophet, Bishop is trying to suggest that just because we have some old school values that we're automatically vilified. There are a lot of women.
I'm not trying to suggest nothing. I'm not trying to suggest nothing. I'm saying y'all are.
Values.
Go ahead.
So Prophet, I'm going to defend you tonight. I'm not going to let Bishop pick on you tonight.
I just said the submission becomes
we defended you, so you get in on this.
Well, you gentlemen, and I think this is so awesome that Bishop would challenge us. We're being challenged because I was going to ask this. If submission the way it have been taught is so complete, why we still having so much trouble with it? Prophet and Pastor Johnson. If submission as the way y'all see it and the way I was taught it, if it's so, watch this, this is gonna seem a little facetious. If it's so the way of God, why we having so much problem with it? Why are we still talking about this same thing that we talking about? I mean, when I was 20, 21, 22 years old.
Well, Project, I'm gonna be honest with you. I disagree with the way the old preachers taught it. I don't agree with the way a lot of our old preachers and older men of yesteryear taught it. I disagree with that. I believe that the conversation has to be a little bit more in depth. It needs to be inclusive of not only the spiritual perspective, but there's another perspective that we're not even talking about. That is the emotional and psychological perspective of what submission and the benefits of submitting to each other. See, I'm a strong proponent of submitting to each other, not just the woman submitting to the man.
I am too. We finally agree.
Yeah, so we agree on that part. So,
look at Frank.
So, Broderick, me or Prophet have not said that we disagree with the male barbaric understanding of submission. That's not what we're saying.
No, and if I suggested that you were saying that, that is not my intent. But what I did want to say,
Roger, don't bag down.
No, sir. But here's what I did want to say is, if in fact to the level which you do believe the old school, why ain't it working? Why we still got to keep fighting? And it's not working. Please,
Broderick.
What we holding on to some of those thoughts for?
It's not working anywhere because of what I said. People struggle with the word submission. The word submission. No matter how you present it, you have more people who struggle with the word submission.
Because of what? Because why?
Because we've heard it. What Johnson just said, what others said, we've heard it taught in such a bad way. And some men used it very bad. Not all. Some did use it in that way. Now, the younger did not see it that way, but yet they struggle with it. Because like I said, I had 5 daughters that don't like it, but they ain't the only one. I talk to young people in their early 20s up. They don't like that. They ain't seen it taught no hard way. They just don't like the word. They'll come to, I used to always teach them, Broderick, and say, I'm going to do your wedding, but I'm going to say this, this, and this. I've had people actually tell me the word obey, you got to take that out. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to use it. And this is not something that they saw in these last 20 years. They just struggle with the word period. Like if they could pull that word out the dictionary, they would. People struggle with it. And even with the man that Bishop said, even with a good man, leading man, people just struggle with the word.
Okay.
And they don't just struggle with this, they struggle with it.
Prophet. There are a lot of things, a lot of words people don't like. The boss say show up at 7 a.m. They don't like that, but they show up. Listen, when the fraternity or the sorority say you got to believe this, there's a lot of things they don't like and or prefer, and yet they still submit. What's up?
Keep going. That's what we saying.
Yeah, keep going.
They can submit easy to everything else.
But the only thing is, though, yeah, I will submit to that, but you're asking me to spend the rest of my life with somebody. So you're asking me to be controlled, my will to be controlled by somebody else's. So if we're talking about this in a very real sense in relationships, the issue why submission is a problem is because the stuff is unsubjective. You want me to submit over something that is not subjective. Popeyes or KFC, water or cooler. Like, no. Like, I have a right to make a choice. And I think because we don't know how to let people make a choice, we feel like submission to a woman feels like she doesn't have a right to be able to speak up. And that's the only thing that I think what Bishop is trying to say, that submission doesn't mean, we're not trying to take submission out of the relationship. We're just saying, what are we submitting to? I need clarity on what I'm submitting to. And a woman still has a right to make decisions in a relationship, and she just doesn't have to be controlled just because he is a man.
Okay, so prophet. Prophet, if you had a list
hold on, brother. What'd you say, Claiborne?
I don't. To Antoine would say, I totally don't agree that submission means she has no right and she can't say no. That's crazy. That's not submission. That's control. That's not submission. And anybody that agrees to that, I ain't on that side at all.
And that's what some jokers turn it into. If I had not stopped you, you were gonna go on and say what you said the other day. And that is, Claiborne, I disagree with you, Bishop. I think that they should submit no matter what. That's what you believe, Claiborne. That's what you was about to say, that you believe that they
you took that for you out of context. First of all, the scripture does not. There's no other way. The scripture does not say what should or shouldn't be do. But what I said that you did not add to is I said that the man has to love the wife, even if she doesn't. The Bible say he has to love her. So if you're gonna do it, then the whole piece. We are told what we're supposed to do. But what Antoine was saying, I am 100% against that. That's control. No one should be controlled. She has feelings, she has emotion, she has wisdom, she has ideas. No, that's submission. Doesn't that mean that she don't have an opinion? That's control.
I just struggle with the whole idea as why wouldn't a woman want to submit to a man who will love you like Christ loved the church?
You know, the issue that I have with what y'all saying, Johnson, is that y'all keep putting it right back on the women. Y'all keep everything is about you and Claiborne is about her, and nothing is about the leadership of the man.
Bishop, I just said the leadership.
Everything, no, seriously, everything y'all say is about the woman should do this, and that is that old school thinking.
Bishop, you just didn't hear what I just said. No. Me loving you like Christ loved the church.
Yeah,
that is the ultimate leadership of love. That is agape at its best.
I agree with that, Johnson. But y'all, everything that y'all saying is geared toward. Okay, that statement, yes. But everything y'all saying is geared toward what the woman should do. And I don't hear much of, like Antoine just said, like, dude, we're not taking her choice away. If she want a hamburger, she can have a hamburger, even though I don't eat meat. Some people are that controlling with stuff. And at the end of the day, if I was a woman, I wouldn't want to be in no relationship like that, where the man, you can't do this and you can't do that. I agree with you on this, Johnson. We submit one to another, but I think we take it too far, even the spirit of it, you know? That's just my opinion.
Loving Christ, wait a minute, loving that.
I ain't saying nothing wrong with loving Christ. You're right. Why would a woman not submit that? But you're still putting it back on. Why wouldn't she? That's hope that the man is loving Christ. That's hope that the man is in his position. My point of this whole thing, Adam, where are you? Are you in position to lead her? You've got out of position. And we ask women to follow a man.
Oh Lord.
Granddaddy said, this is the man, okay? This is the woman. Okay, this is the kids. And as long as he's here, then she should follow. But he said if he does that, then she don't follow that. Y'all agree with that or disagree with that? As long as he's following Christ. Now come on, Johnson. Then she follows.
I'm with that.
When he stopped following, then she should stop following him.
I have no problems with that. That wasn't my I didn't disagree with that, Bishop.
Okay.
Look,
No,
Bishop, I agree with you,
Michael.
But I agree with you, but you just said something earlier. You just, because you stand now as long as he's following Christ. But you just said earlier, even if he was not in church or following Christ, she should follow him. That's what you just said earlier.
Hey, Prophet Claiborne.
I'm speaking of what my grandfather said about a Christian man.
Okay.
I did say that. Now, here's what I believe, and I'm going to say it again. You're not tripping me up, Michael. I know where I'm at.
Listen, you said it. I don't even think what you said.
And while my nephew, your new nephew, is saying amen, you got a new nephew. Because I'm...
No. Oh, Lord.
I said, if a woman marries an unbeliever,
now listen.
Okay, and the unbeliever say you stay your tail home this Sunday because you ain't going to hit that little red boy in Tennessee, Frank Ray. Okay, because I need you here to spend time with me. What's she supposed to do?
Stay at home.
Stay home. That's an unbeliever, and because sometimes women get that mixed up, and they'll go tell the preacher, "Oh, you ain't got to listen to him." Yeah, no, nigga, you listen to your husband. Okay, so I ain't saying nothing different. That's a believer and an unbeliever. Okay, but watch this. If the unbeliever is whipping her tail, if the unbeliever is treating her wrong and has no leadership for the home, let's take it out of the context of a Christian. If he's not leading the home, Ray, don't try to agree with me now. You done went out there with Batman. Stay with Batman. If it's a non-believer that she married and she know God, she decided to do that. And if he stopped leading the home, though, then that's when. You follow me now? Why you trying to trip me up, sir? Yeah, turn your mic on, nigga.
Turn your mic on, Ninja Turtle.
I said when I first came on here, I was agreeing with everything y'all say because Bishop, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Okay. I'm about to cry.
No, you trying to come for me. That's what you're trying to do.
Wow. Frank, he said it, and I'm just trying to figure out which
side. I knew what I was saying.
Okay,
I'm not in it.
I'm not in it. So we doing?
No, you go ahead.
No, I'm not in it.
Ex-nephew.
I'm not in it. I'm not in it.
He said, "I'm not in it."
As Bishop Floyd used to say, "You a smart
man." Hey, Roger, I submit to Bishop. How about that?
Go ahead, you trying to get in.
I'm only just trying to figure out: is that a leather shirt and hat, or is that like?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'm just trying to figure. I'm just trying to figure out what's happening with that Batman situation because I think
in my league.
I think it's the clothes you're wearing tonight that's making you act like this. But it's all good.
Don't worry about it.
It's all good.
So let me go to the next question because we're running out of time. At what point, Frank, nephew? At what point should a woman? At what point of the dating, the relationship, marriage? What point does a lady submit? Because this is only me. I believe that a woman that is submitted from the beginning. She may not show it all, but she's going to have those attributes in the beginning, even in the dating.
What does that look like, Bishop?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. See, I think she's going to do things to show you that she's.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah.
That's the, I'm sorry. She's going to do things to already show you. She may not give it all to you because you're not her husband.
Yeah.
But I think you see, Johnson, this is a good one for y'all. Y'all back with me on this one. I think she will show things already.
Yeah.
Traits of submission.
Yes.
I don't think she waits until she's married. I think she shows it.
Yes.
What do you say, Frank?
I think from the jump for sure. And I think the sure way to tell if a woman is willing to submit or she has a submissive spirit is she is willing to do things that are not detrimental but are uncomfortable for her.
That's good, Frank.
Say that again.
She's willing to do things that are not detrimental but are uncomfortable. She's willing to adjust to those things. For instance,
submission can be uncomfortable.
Let me give a prime example for those of us on here that don't date initially in a public way. For instance, she can come to church, but she's not gonna be seen with you. That can be uncomfortable for her because she used to being on display. She's used to when she's with a man, she's being seen with him. So for you to say you can come to church, but I'll see you at the restaurant after church.
Music? Who playing music? Hold on. Who playing music?
I don't
That
know.
was my phone, probably.
Oh, please. Yeah, because they're gonna restrict my video. Let me mute you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so for you to say, baby, you can come to church, but I'll see you at the restaurant after church. Don't come hug me. Don't come kiss me because that's gonna set off some alarms. You can come. You can sit at the back, and I'll see you at the church. That may be uncomfortable for her, but because that's not detrimental, it's just uncomfortable, and she's willing to adjust to that. That's a sign that she's willing to submit.
Or
to
even
me.
in the place, would you agree when we talk about the posting thing? And she's somebody that may have been with a man that's not as high value or known.
Yeah.
And now she comes with somebody that's high value. You say, baby, I just don't do that. I got, until we further down the line, and it's uncomfortable to her.
Yeah.
That's another, but she'll still do it.
And the spirit in which she implements your desires over hers for that thing is very suggestive of she may be worth keeping around because she's willing to submit. And it might be the other way with you. Like you might can't stand HGTV or you might can't stand Real Housewives of Potomac, but because I don't know why I said that.
I actually watched it last night for the first time only because Marlinda mentioned it. Go ahead.
But because that's what she enjoys doing, and that's how she thinks quality time should be spent. Y'all watching a TV show together that she enjoys, but you don't really care for, and you do it, and you really get into it with her. Like you ask her questions. That could be your form of doing something that's not detrimental, but it's uncomfortable. But because you love her or because you care for her, you are willing to submit in return.
So would you say it's small things like that show the bigger things that they're willing to submit in?
No doubt. No doubt.
Ladies, I hope y'all leaning in. Hope you're leaning in. All right. Anybody else? Anybody disagrees with him?
No, Bishop, I just took a couple of notes and I'll just make it really quick. When should a woman submit? Number one, when a man's character has been examined. And that goes back to what you said with watching all 4 seasons, that you need to examine somebody's character through transitions and changes in the relationship. Don't submit in the euphoria stage because they're showing you their representative. Number 2, literally when agreements have been made. I don't believe in submission without agreements. I don't believe in blind submission. I do not believe in blind submission. Submitting to you just because you are good enough is a train wreck in the future. Just because you're a good person, you still have things in your life that I may not agree with and I may not have examined you fully. So I need to actually really see you. So for me, I'm not submitting until there's an agreement made. This is where your choice and your will is involved in this thing. You don't submit until you have a seat at the table in the relationship, or you will be subject to that person's emotional control. Number 3, when the destination of the relationship has been defined, that's when you submit. If there is no destination, then there's nothing to submit to. Where are we headed? Where are we going? What's the goal? What's the vision? What's the aim? What am I submitting to? And when that destination has been examined, then that's when I will say you submit.
Somebody asked the question. What is that a question, Jay? Or she just repeating what you said? What is the agreement, love? What's the she repeating? Okay. All right. Anybody else?
I just think, Bishop, and I'm not saying this, I'm not kidding. A few years ago, this conversation would have bothered me. I would have been, my insecurity wouldn't have been able to handle it.
Oh, that's good.
But because I don't want what I want what submission is about. And there's probably a few pages in there about submission I have not known. And so I think even the discussion, the dialogue, and even some of the disagreements is good because everybody going to be thinking and rethinking what submission is. And if this can help us become better in all aspects, I'm grateful for it because I've been taking notes tonight.
So I think we exhausted that. 2 more things and we out of here. When should a woman, Perry, Claiborne, and Johnson, Dwayne, when should a woman not submit? Or is there any such thing when she shouldn't?
That's really
I
good.
think that as when it's detrimental, I think you kind of summarized it when you was talking about the unbeliever and the believer, you know what I mean? But when it's just generalizing it, it's when it's detrimental. When you're talking about being beat, you're talking about experiencing abuse on any level, you know what I mean? I think that somewhat is where you need to draw the line in the dirt and say, wait a minute, that's too far. When submission has been defined that you do not have a choice, when your husband becomes a dictator, that right there is a whole nother setup. He should be your husband to hold the house together. He shouldn't be your Adolf Hitler. He should not be your, I'm gonna beat you, kill you into
Adolf.
promotion, into submission. So in my mind, when he becomes a dictator, when he becomes that individual that, I'm a die trying, I'm gonna kill you, kill the kids, that type of setup, because there are certain situations even now that we're seeing that, and people are telling the wife, stay there, but they end up dead. I end up at your funeral, So I think Ray said it best. Even though it's uncomfortable, yes, submit, but when it comes detrimental, life-threatening, mentally, emotionally, to the place where you can't function, then I think you need to draw the line in the dirt, say, wait a minute, I can't do that, and that goes to a conversation, that goes to you expressing yourself, communicating. And again, when he becomes a dictator, that's too much. That's too much.
Man, that's real good. I think when love has lost its power, I know some people say this, and I kind of disagree with this, that when things go south, they say, hey, but he loves me though. I don't think so, because I think that the reflection of love is something that leads you into strength, right? It does not mean in our humanity that we don't have a level of disagreement, even argument, but love always brings that disagreement and argument back together. So I think when love has lost the glue, I think that's when you call a quits to it. That's when you cannot submit. When love has lost its glue, when there is no love in the presence of an argument, when there is no love in your joyous moments, when there is no love in sad moments, I think that's when you got to throw in the towel and say, hey, I can't submit to this. Because I believe that real, authentic, pure love from individual to individual will cause you to look at what is being presented with a different outlook. And so when it has lost its glue, you cannot submit at all. You got to go. Got to go. Got to go.
Anybody else? Are y'all good with that?
Yeah, let me add one more component.
Go ahead, sir.
When that man does not love you as Christ loved the church.
That's exactly what I'm speaking of. Yeah.
The husband love for his wife should reflect the love that Christ has for his church. That love is patient, it is kind, it is unconditional, it is forgiving. That is an all-inclusive love. Remember now, God is love.
Mm-hmm. That's a passage. I know we get ready to turn the corner, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. When because I was saying the word like that for a reason, and I wasn't talking about love like, oh, I love you. I'm talking exactly from that foundation of love. When that is distorted, dysfunctional, you can't recognize it. It's nowhere to be found. It is just a lost art, whatever terminology we want to use. When that is happening, it is time for you to say, no, I cannot submit. And maybe it doesn't mean that the relationship is even over. Maybe you just can't submit right now to that. Because who's to say? Maybe he or she might begin to change. However, when that is lost, you cannot submit because it's going to cause you devastation in the long run. It's going to cause you some level of heartache in the long run because what you thought was good, or in your words, Pastor Jay, that love that Jesus tells us to give to our wife is going to show up. And you're going to feel dysfunctional because you're going to be trying to figure out, why am I here doing this for an individual that is not giving me that level of love? So,
To close with this, and those of you that are watching, Marlinda, you can put the giving information up because we're going to pivot from here. But you remember, Michael, we talked about, and Dwayne in Clubhouse, and I don't know if he was there, Antoine, but we talked about.
He's never there, Bishop. He's never there.
A woman shouldn't submit to a man that can't provide emotional security.
Bingo.
That's another. If he cannot provide, go ahead, Michael.
You're talking good there,
We
Bishop.
talked about that last week too, Bishop, even on this stage.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah, we talked about that on this stage last week. That was
that's what made me go
I
with
agree.
the whole conversation. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's because we jumped into that. Yeah. I think it's the foundation is what Johnson is saying. Because with not only loving her, but you can't love a woman with verbal, Pastor Antoine. It's gotta be what, for me, I believe it gotta be what come off of you. Like she gotta know it. Not just what you say or what you do, but every part of you saying love. So I believe emotional security. You're not going to get everything that she, because she's emotional way more than you. So you're not going to get everything or how she's getting it, but you can definitely provide that space to say, I'm trying to understand. Because remember, you're analytical. Bishop always said this on Clubhouse, I'm gonna have a transparent moment. For years, many years ago, Pastor Antoine, I was so analytical that when I met a woman that was somewhat analytical, I used to thank my new nephew. no. I used to think that when she turned emotional, like, wait, what happened? Because I started to say, but you too analytical. Like you're the most analytical woman I know. But here's what I messed up at. She's going to be emotional. And I couldn't accept that. And I had to finally say to myself, she's not going to be me because she's not a man. While she may see some things analytical, but she's going to see things that move. She's not a man. And the more I begin to tell myself that, I start teaching that we do see things different, but I can create the space for her to be emotional. And I think that's what Bishop was saying, emotional security. I don't have to whine like her, cry like her, do all of, but I can create a space to allow her a judgment-free zone to be emotional. That I think that would be emotional security as well, is creating that space for her. So yeah, that's what it was last week.
So tonight, as we are in our 50th week, 50 is the number of release, and there's some of you all that are praying for the right man, the right man that you can submit to, that you can feel comfortable with yielding, and likewise the man can feel, it's submit. I'm me and Johnson are closer than anything. I believe in submitting one to another. I really believe that, and my prayer is when the right one comes, seriously, that I can do that. My ex-wife used to say I got that lump in my throat when something I don't agree with. I can without that lump in my throat. But tonight, I'm believing God for release for the women, and even men that may be on here. Christopher's on here. I think Christopher ain't missed a week. Christopher is our trustee. But I want you to give a release. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Perry. Thank you, Broderick and Antoine, and all of you that have given so far. I want you to give a $50 offering, but I want you to do it different tonight. I want it to be a seed of release, that you're praying that God will release that man that's preparing for you right now. You think you're just preparing for him, but there's some man, Antoine, that is looking for we had about 365 on throughout the whole thing, on all platforms. I know Facebook say one thing, but on all platforms, as I'm looking at the numbers, that God would release that man. Now you can't ask God to release nothing that you haven't planned for, or for something that you don't know who it is, because you really don't have in your mind. There's no expectations. Expectation is the breeding ground for miracles. Many people want a man, but they have no expectation. They don't even know what they want. And so tonight, as you give that $50 in celebration of us rocking for literally 50 weeks. 50 weeks. Would you appreciate us tonight by sowing that seed? As I did last week, I believe that there are 6 of you that can go the extra mile, as many of you did last week. And yes, I'm a blessing to the men every week.
Yes.
Guess what? I told somebody, I said, that ain't the reason why the men show up. They didn't even know that when they got on the show that they were going to get anything. And sometimes they give half of what they get, but at the end of the day, there are those that can give 150. There's about 6 of you that can do that. The information is on the screen. It's a seed for what you're believing God for. Release. 50 is the number of release. Number of release. So tonight, if you would do that, if you would give that $50 tonight, that 150 on tonight. Some of you may want to give more because of what it's been to you. Some of you save money on a therapist because the men have helped you. Some of you started off weeks ago not being in a relationship, and gentlemen, don't play it lightly. There are people that take notes, and they hear a little bit of what, even though me and Claiborne, I pick on him because I know he thinks differently, and it helps for people to think that you could choose either thought that you want. There's a plethora. There's a gumbo of thoughts. And so tonight, let's honor these 50 weeks. Some people can't stay together 50 weeks, but we've been together. We thank God for of course, Carlton Lynch and Jontarius Tate, who's going to be back with us in 2 weeks to celebrate our year. So as you get it done, thank you, Sharon. Put in the comments, release my husband, release my spouse, release, send to me. And so thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Pastor Johnson. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, AW Enterprise, Ebony, and Miss Carmen, Sharon, Oren Perry twice, Tyshonda, thank you. All of you that are giving. So if you would do tonight, give that $50, that $150 on tonight. Let's get it done, y'all. How many people are required to be on the panels? We can only get 10 people on StreamYard. We actually, yeah, 10. See, he's a trustee. He wanted all the business. Those of you that would do that tonight, need your help. No gimmicks, but 50 is the number of release. $ Greg Davis 10. Venmo Greg Davis 1. PayPal, contact Greg Davis. Zelle, GregDavisShow.com. GregDavisShow@gmail.com. Thank you, Ariel. Appreciate you. I want to call your names tonight. Some of you, if I can get just 6 of you to give 150 on tonight. We invest in everything else, but I say it all the time, but our relationships. Let's get it done. Let me see who. Yolanda Carter, thank you. Appreciate you, Yolanda. $50, thank you. Let's go, y'all. Some more of y'all. Let me know if you're getting it done, if you're doing it. Release. Prophet Perry, if you want to say a few words. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Whitney.
Yeah, Bishop, I agree wholeheartedly with the need of always sowing. Sowing seeds break cycles. We've been saying that for weeks, and seeing that God can do anything but fail. And so while you're giving that 50, the release of the Lord concerning romance, concerning God fixing hearts, concerning family, whatever it may be, the vocation, we believe God with you. And while you're sowing, write down in the comments, put something in your heart, your mind. I do believe that it works. And Bishop said it best, we sow into everything but relationships. It's something I've learned early on in my younger years. Relationships are the currency of wealth. No one will be able to release wealth unto you if it does not come through a human being. So while you're sowing, we believe that even though it may leave your hand, it's going to bless your life. It's going to impart into you. And God's going to prove himself. The two things God can't do. And God can't lie, and he cannot fail. And so when you begin to trust God with what he's giving you, trust him with the 50. Some of you all saying, I may not have that. Give on the vocation. Bishop asked for 6 to give 150. And I even sold 150 myself tonight because I trusted God tonight. I trusted God tonight just to see God do something. Every chance I get, I believe that there's something God's going to do in this hour, in this moment. And so while you're sowing, while you're giving, You heard from our thoughts, you heard our hearts, you've heard from different perspectives. But when you put it all together and get the gumbo, as they say, you have a meal, 4-course meal that will change your life. So again, while you're sowing that 50, some of you doing the 150, some of you said, I may not have it, give on your level according to your faith. Watch something happen. And I believe before this week is out, something's going to happen major for you. I believe before this week is out, something's going to happen for you.
Thank you, Prophet. Just need a few more of you tonight. Prophet Claiborne.
Bishop, I just kept hearing the word own it, own it, own it. Your seed puts you in a position to own it, to cause things to come to you because of your seed. What you sow, it makes it draws it to you. It comes out. No one sows a seed, Prophet Barry, in the South and not expect a harvest. The farmer just don't waste his time sowing seed. Every time he sow, and what I love about it, I never knew this in Philly, Prophet, but till I got down here, I didn't understand how they grew cotton one time, and then the next season they grew tobacco. My mind couldn't wrap around it, but a farmer told me when the ground is right, there are several things that they can change and keep planting seed. So this is good ground right here. 50 weeks, this is good ground. And when you plant seed, I have never seen Bishop Davis in all the years I've known him not walking to level of blessings. All the years I've known him, everything he put his hands to, his healing conferences, the conference we had in Delaware, everything he puts his hands to, I have seen it explode. Sow seed, and then you take all of this anointing here, Pastor Antoine, all of these people, and sow into that. I promise you, you're going to see a harvest every time you sow into this ground, because this is good ground. And I'm telling you, I challenge you tonight. I challenge you tonight to sow into the ground and watch the harvest come. And the Bible said, if you believe in God's prophet, Bishop Davis always saying he not, but every time he speaks a word out of his mouth, Broderick, it comes to pass. If you believe in God's prophet, you're going to prosper. And I'm telling you tonight, prosperity is following you because y'all sow right here on tonight.
Thank you all so much for your giving, and you can continue to give. Really need and about 10 more of you that would give that $50, and those of you that would give that $150, so we can meet our budget on tonight to be a blessing to the men. Broderick, you want to say anything?
Great is his faithfulness. Great is his faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have need of, his hands keep providing. Great is his faithfulness, oh God, unto me. I know you said say, but that song was on me. I said, if he say anything to me, I'm going to release that. 50 weeks. Bishop, I'm going to say this. Hey, listen, the pandemic hit me financially. And hot dog it, this show, listen unto me, brothers, and those who are giving, you have helped me be able to take care of some things. I didn't see this coming, but I'm not too proud to say, I'm not proud at all. I'm happy and grateful that the seed that have been sown through this platform has helped me. And I want you to know it, Bishop, brothers, I want you to know it. And to everybody in the screen, I'm grateful and thankful for that part of it. And other doors have opened up as a result. So it's just like, gee whiz, layers of blessings, layers. So great is his faithfulness. Great is his faithfulness. This for the person who just really tuned in. Morning by morning, new mercies. I hope you see all you have need of. God's hands have already provided. Great is his faithfulness. Oh, come on, Pastor Johnson. Great is his faithfulness. Pastor Frank, I appreciate you. Great is God's faithfulness, oh God, unto me.
You know, Pastor Lynch always calls me and he says, he called me this week. He went to Prophet Karn's conference and he said that every time he turned around, people were stopping him. He said, I thought they were getting ready to stop me because of Clubhouse. He said, I thought they was going to stop me because I preached on the Word Network. He said, they were stopping me. Not one, not two, but several. Because he said, you're on the men's program on Monday nights. This little program that we think is just a little internet program, it has touched more lives. If we would add up that we average 4,000 or 5,000 people now. When we first started, it was almost 20,000. We've reached hundreds of thousands of people. Not just these 300-400 that be on it when we on. People, when we go off, they're ready to watch this. Melinda was telling me that Broderick Shirley, her mom, she watches it when we go off. She don't like watching in real time because she's in California. Y'all never know, the Winans have a song, you never know the lives that you touched. And so I want to thank you, brothers, for being transparent and putting up with me for 50 weeks. You got a little while left to go. Tell the Lord said different. So y'all, we about to go. Those of you that have not given, I ask that you give. If it's 200 and some people on here, whatever you have to give, whether it's 10, 15, 20, the 150, the 50. But let's appreciate. Before we go, two things. The women will be on tomorrow night. Okay? The women will be on tomorrow night.
I'll make sure I won't clown because I don't want to get rebuked.
At 9 p.m. The women are on tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Melinda, where you at? She let me see. Can you get it up? Anyway, at 9 p.m. tomorrow night. We did them week before last. And then tonight, Prophet Perry's birthday was Friday. And so I'm asking those of you that would be a blessing to him tonight. Happy birthday, Candyman. And so this is we do this for our guys. We ask that you give something to him. Although we have made our budget, I don't care. This brother has been a blessing. He's been here all 50 weeks with the bishop. Has not missed one day. $5, $10, $20. Yeah, that's it, Whitney. Y'all put up the celebratory emojis, and we wish Prophet Perry a happy birthday. So let's celebrate him on tonight just for a few minutes. And we wish him a happy birthday. He turned 33, y'all.
Wow.
Turned 33 years old.
Yeah, man.
What, Dwayne? What you about to say?
No, I didn't know he was dang, probably we the same age now, man. Welcome to the club. Your Jesus year.
Yeah.
I just got that notice again saying Cash App is having issues.
Jesus. I hope it's not.
I haven't been having any issues.
I haven't had any issues.
Me either. Me either.
Did it come through, Perry? Yeah, it looked like it just went through, though.
It did. Thanks, brother. I love you, man. Thank you all so much.
We're going to take a few minutes to honor Prophet Perry before we go. Y'all send him something. I sent him mine already.
Thank you all. Man.
Hey, Miss Loretta. Miss Loretta probably been here all 50 shows.
Yeah.
Doggone near. All right, y'all. We will leave Prophet Perry's information up, and the giving for the show will be right up under it, Marlinda. And we will be back for week 51 on next week, right here on When the Right One. Join the women tomorrow night, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. for the women. Melinda, thank you. We'll leave this up for about 5 minutes. You all could be a blessing to Prophet Perry, and if you still have to give to the show. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night, Bishop. Good night, Jim.
One thing I know, you gonna dance to one.
Hey man, you one of them DJs, man. You got it, man.
See y'all next Monday.
Frank, man, you got to get back to your show, man.
Next month, brother.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Next month, let's go.
Peace.